Alright, this is World of Warcraft College with your Survival Hunter shot rotation for 3.3 patch. And for this little explanation, this is going to be your PvE spec. Now, it doesn't have to exactly be this, but somewhat of it. You can find this exact spec on the site, but more than likely, if you're already watching this video, you know what spec you use and you're probably pretty good with it. But this is the general spec for survival. This is flexible build. Feel free to keep your own. Now, with every class, there's always a priority skill list. First of all, being at the top of the chain would be any cooldowns that you have, such as rapid fire, kill command, or any trinkets or racials. That's obviously going to come first because that boosts your DPS the highest. As for your shots, it will be kill shot, explosive shot, serpent sting, black arrow, aim shot or multi-shot, and steady shot. Now, kill shot obviously has the most damage one available, so whenever you have that pop up, you always want to hit that first. Explosive shot is your next, and it does the most damage out of all the shots consistently. This will be your main damage. Serpent Sting comes next, which usually I think most people heard that Black Arrow comes above Serpent Sting because it procs locked and loaded. But keeping Serpent Sting up the whole entire fight, if you have Noxious Stings, it's more important than Black Arrow because it provides more DPS over the time. I'll explain a little bit more of that on the actual blog. You could go to the link, as I said, to get the build and to see a little bit more in detail explanation and the math behind it. Black Arrow comes next because it's also a good dot, better than Serpent Sting with damage, and it procs locked and loaded. Aim shot and multi-shot come next, and steady shot fills in your rotation. Now, aim shot or multi-shot, it's really your preference. Whichever one you're geared or spec'd for, you'd like to use that one. But if you're doing mobs, use multi-shot. It does a little bit more damage. But when it's single target, use aim shot. Now, it may look easy just looking at it right now, seeing the rotations pretty flat out. But locked and loaded throws a kink in your rotation. It sometimes takes priority and sometimes doesn't. So let's look at that. Locked and loaded. There's the explanations of the tooltips for both of them, and you could read that for a second. Now, locked and loaded is going to provide a huge boost in DPS when available, and as I said, it comes from Black Arrow because you're not really going to be trap dancing. And if you do, more power to you. But if you do trap dance, you have a 100% chance to get the locked and loaded. It's also effective in PvP, but that's not what I'm here to tell you. So, when locked and loaded procs from your Black Arrow, which you'll never be able to tell because it has a 6% chance, you want to immediately look at the timer of how long you have left with your locked and loaded. You want to keep around 10 seconds left when you want to use it. But when you go to fire locked and loaded, I've heard a whole bunch of shot rotations involving it. The most popular would be shooting explosive shot, steady shot, explosive shot, steady shot, explosive shot. Which may sound good in theory, but it does not provide the best DPS. The best DPS is provided by firing explosive shot, waiting for the proc on the boss to go away, because after you fire it, it does damage, additional damage. After 2 seconds, it says so in the tooltip. And waiting that 2 seconds and firing off the next explosive shot. Waiting 2 seconds and firing off another explosive shot. That's the best if you're sitting there. Now, I've seen the best, let's say you're doing a raid and you had to move and you had locked and loaded proc. You could fire explosive shot, arcane shot, explosive shot. because those all are instant with the locked and loaded. Alright, now moving on to cooldowns, like I said, if you're in a raid where Heroism or Bloodlust is available, you want to wait to blow your cooldowns then. But if you do not have Bloodlust or any specific time when you're supposed to pop cooldowns, pop them as often as you can, as much as you can. Because it's going to boost your DPS more the more you can fit your cooldowns in. Alright, now we're going to take a little example of in-game how to do this shot rotation. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to DPS the right way and the wrong way. So, what happens if we do not follow our shot priorities and just button mash? Well, I'm about to show you. And button mashing on 3, 2, 1, button mashing. Alright, and stopping. Just a small segment. I did around 2.2k. I think it steadily was at 2.5k. Anyways, that's because Serpent Sting took it down. So 2.5k we'll say. Alright, now the right way. What you want to do is always open up with Serpent Sting, Explosive Shot, Black Arrow, Multi-Shot or Aim Shot, and Steady Shot. So, with that being said, the right way would be Serpent Sting, Explosive Shot, Black Arrow, Multi-Shot, then fill in your rotations with Steady Shots. Make sure you keep Serpent Sting up as much as possible. Got a locked and loaded proc. Boom, fired it off. Boom, fired it off. And fired it off. 3 times in a row. Alright, so I did around 3.6k was the peak. So I improved the DPS around 1.1k just by following the shot rotation, not just hitting any old button just because the cooldown's up. Completes the Hunter Survival 3.3 patch shot rotation, and hope to see you in the future.